Good morning, guys. Today we're going to be doing a little mini lesson on author's purpose. And we've talked about author's purpose before, but we needed to go back over and just make sure we remember what author's purpose is and what the three purposes are. So I bet you remember when we talked about author's purpose, we talked about pie. And we talked about pie because authors are a lot like bakers. A baker will create something yummy for people to eat. Well, an author kind of creates a piece of writing for people to read. And they do it for different reasons. Like a baker might make a pie for somebody to have for dessert, or a wedding cake for a wedding, or they might make spaghetti for dinner. They have different purposes for cooking what they cook. And an author does too. They have different purposes of why they write what they're going to write. And if you remember, the three purposes are persuade, inform, and entertain. And yeah, those letters spell pie. So that's why we talk about pie when we talk about author's purpose. Because pie spells what they are writing for. An author can write to persuade you, an author can write to inform you, or entertain. So when you think of author's purpose, think of pie. Persuade, inform, entertain. So the first one, the P, stands for persuade. And persuade is when an author is trying to convince you to do something or trying to talk you into doing something. They're trying to get you to do something. That's when you persuade something. Just like in this one. Let's read this little thing about Penny's pies. Once you sink your teeth into one of Penny's mouth-watering pies, you'll never want to try one from anyone else. 10 flavors, just $10 each. Call 712-598-2323 to order yours today. So yeah, the author's purpose for this is advertisement or ad is definitely trying to persuade you. They're trying to get you to do something. What do they want you to do? What are they trying to talk you into? Yep, they want to try to talk you into buying a pie, of course. They're trying to tell you stuff to make you want it. That's what ads do. Anytime you have an ad, they're trying to persuade you. They want you to go buy whatever it is they're telling you about, don't they? Yeah. Alright, so the I in author's purpose stands for inform. That's when the author just wants to give you true, real things, real facts, real information about something. That's what author's purpose, or that's what the I in author's purpose stands for, inform. So let's look at this one real quick. Take a few minutes to read this and let's see what they're trying to inform us about. What are they trying to tell us? And remember, you can pause the video while you're reading. Yeah, so this purpose, of course, is to inform us. What were they informing us about? Yeah, they're giving us information about wolf packs or wolves, aren't they? Yeah. Alright, the last reason that an author might write something, that E in pie, is entertain. So the author wants to just give the reader something they will enjoy reading, something that's fun to read. Fiction books are written to entertain because they're made-up stories. The author's just trying to give you a made-up story, something that you would enjoy. Books written to entertain may be happy, sad, scary, suspenseful. Any emotion is possible when you're writing to entertain. So usually when an author is writing an entertain story, it's a made-up story, so it has characters and setting and dialogue and a beginning, middle, and an end. Just like we talked about how it has problems and solutions and all that stuff in our stories. That's what stories that are written to entertain have. Alright, so we're going to practice trying to figure out the author's purpose on a few things, and then you're going to try an assignment on your own, okay? Alright, so if Jason is reading a nonfiction book about the history of baseball, what was the author's purpose for writing this book? Remember, it's a nonfiction book. And it's about the history of baseball. What do you think? Yeah, it was going to be written to inform because it's just telling you true stuff about baseball. It was written to inform. All right, what about if Abby is reading a joke book? What was the author's purpose for writing this book? It's a joke book. That sounds like it would be written to, yeah, entertain you. They just want you to enjoy it. All right, Juan is reading a book about a boy that invents a time machine and travels 50 years into the future. What was the author's purpose for writing this book? All right, remember, this sounds like a made-up story. He invents a time machine, he goes back into the future, or he goes into the future. What do you think? Yeah, this one was written to entertain. Good job. Let's try another one. Kayla just finished reading an article that listed ways kids could help take care of our planet. She has decided that she wants to do the things the author listed. What was the author's purpose for writing this article? Alright, so remember, Kayla finished reading an article that listed ways to help take care of the planet, and now she wants to do those things. Kind of sounds like they kind of talked her into it, huh? They tried to get her to do it. Yeah, that one would be persuade. Very good. All right, now I'm going to give you, let's do 5 more on your own, okay? So we're going to try 5 more, and I'm not going to give you the answers this time. You're going to write it on your board or your piece of paper, and then you'll send me a picture, okay? So this is the first one. I want you to read it and try to figure out the author's purpose. All right, this one will be your second one. So I want you to read this one, and I want you to try to figure out the author's purpose. All right, this is going to be your third one. This is number 3. Read this one and see what the author's purpose is. Read number 3. All right, here's your fourth one. Go ahead and read this one and figure out the author's purpose. This is number 4. Here's number 5. This is our last one. So read this one and see if you can figure out the author's purpose. Remember, this is number 5. Alright guys, and that's the end of this lesson on author's purpose. I hope you did really well, and I'm sure that you did. See you later, guys.